We've all been there. You're at a crowded social gathering. Someone asks you to describe a mutual acquaintance, and suddenly you freeze. You know exactly what they look like, but the words just will not come out. You're caught in a linguistic trap. You need to paint an accurate picture so the other person knows who you're talking about, but you're terrified of accidentally using a word that crosses the line into offensive territory. This visual guide outlines the solution. It provides the specific vocabulary, grammar rules, and social etiquette you need to build accurate character profiles. Nailing these descriptions is a practical necessity. It is the primary mechanism we use to navigate social landmines safely and respectfully. This diagram breaks down the process of building a character profile into 4 core elements: body and stature, face and features, age, and overall impression. We follow a sequential workflow, starting broadly with the physical frame before zooming in on microfacial details. By organizing our observations into this strict, sequenced blueprint, we stick to objective data. This prevents us from making careless or potentially offensive generalizations. Starting with the frame, this graphic establishes the baseline categories for human height. We measure stature along a straightforward spectrum, classifying people as very tall, of medium height, or quite short. Moving to body composition, this matrix maps out weight descriptors. In the top left, we have slim. This is universally recognized as a polite, positive compliment for someone with a smaller frame. Directly below it is the word thin. Notice the orange caution symbol. While technically similar to slim, thin can carry negative connotations about someone's health, making it a highly sensitive term. For larger bodies, we look to the top right. Overweight is the acceptable, neutral, and medically appropriate term to use in polite conversation. However, the term in the bottom right, fat, is strictly forbidden when describing human beings. As the illustration shows, reserve this word exclusively for animals, like a well-fed pet cat. Because body composition is the highest risk category for causing offense, relying on these specific calculated word choices is critical for maintaining professional communication. Once the frame is established, we zoom in on the face. This diagram labels specific feature variations, highlighting the female figure's long blonde or fair hair and blue eyes. Shifting to the male figure, we see vocabulary for skin tone, specifically dark skin, alongside green eyes and particular male grooming choices like a mustache and a beard. When assigning these features to a person, English uses 2 distinct grammatical structures for possession. As shown in this split screen, you can say someone has a beard, or you can say they have got dark hair. The central equal sign highlights a key rule. Both structures, has and has got, are perfectly correct and entirely interchangeable when describing physical traits. When you combine these specific facial descriptors with the correct verbs, you can construct a detailed visual profile based on direct observation. Next, we map life stages. This timeline visualizes age progression, starting with a young individual and moving into the middle-aged bracket. The crucial etiquette rule appears at the end of the timeline. For people of advanced age, always use the respectful term elderly, and strictly avoid the impolite, crossed-out word old. When evaluating overall impressions of attractiveness, English vocabulary splits along gender lines. As this chart details, women are typically described as pretty or beautiful, while men are described as good-looking. Average looking serves as the neutral baseline for anyone. Pay close attention to the red warning banner at the bottom, though. The word ugly is incredibly harsh, and using it in social settings is highly dangerous. To gather this physical data yourself, you need specific inquiry phrasing. This cheat sheet details the exact starters to use: how tall, how much for weight, how old, and what do they look like. Deploying these precise, targeted questions yields hard, objective data. This ensures you never have to rely on another person's subjective and potentially offensive opinions. Bringing it all together, we have to navigate a few common grammar traps. This alert box clarifies verticality. Human beings grow tall, but inanimate objects like mountains are high. People are never high in terms of stature. Below that is the uncountable noun rule. Hair on the human head operates as a single mass, meaning you cannot pluralize it. Saying she has dark hairs is grammatically incorrect. Finally, the right side of the chart provides our definitive social etiquette summary. It recaps the 4 primary word substitutions to avoid offense. Replace fat with overweight, thin with slim, ugly with average, and old with elderly. Technical accuracy in your grammar is most effective when it is paired with respect in your vocabulary. A broad vocabulary only serves its purpose when you have the social nuance required to maintain healthy, respectful relationships.